My great-grandmother died when I was 2. I spoke with her till I was 7. Could have been imagination, I suppose. I often heard someone slip and fall off of my roof when I was young. Could have been squirrels combined with imagination. I've had tons of worthless psychic dreams. Like I'll dream I'm talking to some guy in striped pants on the bus about my friend Jeremy. And then a few weeks later, I'll run into some guy in striped pants on the bus and he'll recognize me as Jeremy's friend. I saw a creepy guy walk past and stare into my second-story window. The town I lived in had had a mine collapse about 100 years before, so it could have been the used to be ground level. When I was 12, I was in my room and my brothers were downstairs in the living room. There was a swingy door closet above my headboard and a slidey door closet below my footboard. I kept hearing the swingy door opening and I'd jump up and it would be closed. So after a few times I opened it and it was just closet stuff in there. So I lay back down and then I heard the slidey door start to open, and I actually saw it moving. So I decided to stay up the rest of the night reading in the bathroom. So I crept back in my room to watch the sunrise, and I heard cursing and then the smoke alarm went off. Somehow a blanket one of the boys had been using had traveled about 10-15 feet to land on the heater and had caught fire. I saw a soldier walk past my room in a different town.
My friends and I were living in an apartment. We're both incoming second-year college. Our apartment is huge. It has a second floor with a terrace. Usually, when we go back to our own houses on weekends, I am the ones who always come back earlier or one day before our class. When I slept there alone, I heard footsteps coming through our bedroom. I thought I was just imagining things because I am scared, but I am not. It continued and lasted for how many minutes? After that, I heard the other door open, which is our closet. It was so loud. I am still awake and can't sleep. After that encounter, I shared it to our landlord, and he told me that before we move in that apartment, there was an old man who's sick and died in a heart attack.
When I was about 7-8 years old, I'm 40 now, I was at my uncle's grave with my family for a visit. There was this little kid, maybe 5 years old, running around my uncle's grave. I said to my dad, "Who's that kid? Why is he running around?" My dad said, "What kid?" Turns out the kid I explained was my dead cousin. That died about 10 years prior in a hit and run. He was in with my auntie while crossing the road. My dad said I would have never explained my cousin to him. I had never seen pics or even knew that he existed. I ended up seeing my little cousin a few times. While my brother and I played work our toys in our room, I just never brought it up. Not sure why I ended up only seeing him a few times and then never again.
Had a variety of things happen at a place I used to live, the usual footsteps, shadows, opening and closing of doors, etc. But one thing always sticks in my memory. I was downstairs with a GF at the time, and she was keen to get some sleep, so started to head upstairs to go to bed. I could hear her footsteps in a normal rhythm until about after 10 steps I heard her stop. Within seconds, the footsteps became a sprint back down, and she returned through the hallway with all the color removed from her face. As she was climbing the stairs, she said she looked forward and saw a pair of black shoes sitting at the top of the stairs. I obviously want to investigate with weapon in hand, but as expected, nothing.
Lived in a house that had a lot of weird things happen. I was sitting at my computer and something caught my eye at the doorway. I looked over and saw a shadow of the head and shoulders of a person looking around the door at me. It was like a shadow in midair, not against a wall. As I realized what I was seeing, it moved towards the stairway that was visible from where I was sitting and just dissipated into thin air. My first thought was, I've just seen the ghost. Whatever is here just allowed me to see it. For the record, whatever was there never scared me. It actually felt comforting. I lived there for 12 years. I was kind of sad when I moved because I knew I would miss it.
I've had to both when I was younger. It never happened. Again, the first was when I was at home. I was outside alone and swore I heard my grandma call my name. So I ran down to the house and asked if she had, and she said she had UND even gone outside. The second happened at an old battlefield near our town. My grandma had taken me, and I think my brother had asked hard to remember if it was just me and her or not, but we got there, and I went off on my own, and I swear to this day, I saw multiple transparent figures seeming to be like echoes of the past. Like I saw a guy on a horse get hit with what seemed to be a cannonball, and someone else running who looks like he got shot and fell to the ground.